Hello and hello. Welcome back to the Undisputed Champ YouTube boxing channel. If you've liked the videos I've previously put up, please could you subscribe, and let's get into the video today. We're talking about the news that's just broken recently. Canelo versus Callum Smith is signed. It's going down November 19th of December 2020, and yeah, let's talk about it. When I think about this fight, I first look at Callum Smith and I think about his career. Pretty interesting career up until now, but I don't think he's been making the most out of it. He comes from a boxing family. He's part of the Smith brothers. All four of those brothers have won British titles at different weights, and Callum was touted to be the best one. He's a big frame for a super middleweight. He's about 6'2", 6'3", long range, quite lanky, rangy, and to be fair, he started off probably the most impressive out of all the brothers. He's still undefeated. I think he won the British, Commonwealth, European, or he took a version of the traditional route in boxing, and he's won a world title as well. He entered the World Boxing Super Series tournament, which is a fantastic idea, and I just hope they can keep that going, because that tournament, that style was just perfect. It guarantees the fighters decent money. It puts them in big fights against contenders in their own division, and normally there are belts on the line as well. In the cruiserweight version of the tournament, we ended up with an undisputed champion, Alexander Usyk, and those are the sort of champions we love. We love undisputed champions on this channel, people who unify all the belts, who can call themselves the one true champion of the division, and nobody can fight and nobody can go back and forth with who's the champion, because there's only one when you're undisputed. But heading back to Callum Smith, he entered that tournament and he looked pretty shaky in the tournament. Even though he ended up winning the tournament, he looked pretty shaky. His first fight was against Eric Skoglund, someone I'd never heard of before, and he gave Callum a few problems until Callum eventually stopped him, but he gave Callum a few problems up until then. And then he fought a smaller fighter and a former kickboxer. I think he'd only had a few boxing fights when he fought Callum, and Callum didn't look great in that fight either. His original opponent had pulled out, and this guy was a late replacement. I think his name was like Nicky Kolsberg or something, Nicky something anyway. But yeah, then he had like 8 fights at the time, and he was giving Callum issues in there. And Callum looked rubbish in that fight, looked shit. So again, I'm like, oh, Callum, man, you're supposed to be the most talented Smith brother. You're not looking great against your first opponent, who nobody knows. You're not looking great against his second opponent, who nobody knows. And then his third opponent, George Groves, he did look good in that fight, but George Groves was coming off shoulder surgery and a tough, grueling fight with Chris Eubank Jr. And subsequently, George Groves actually retired after that fight. So the Callum Smith fight was George Groves' last fight. This is where Callum Smith won the world title. And that shows you where George Groves' head was at. If he went on to retire after that fight, didn't think he had anything left. So he probably didn't fight a great version of George Groves. So I don't want to take away the win from him. I wouldn't do that. But I definitely say there's a small asterisk on that one too. Then he went on to fight Ndam. Ndam was finished, chin checked by that time. And then he fought John Ryder. And I actually watched the John Ryder fight today. So it's fresh in my mind for this video. And John Ryder was giving him fits in, and I actually had John Ryder winning the fight. Or at best even, it's a draw for Callum Smith. So Callum Smith, he's had problems with a smaller fighter in John Ryder, problems with a smaller fighter in the kickboxer. And what sort of shape is Canelo? He's a smaller fighter. So it doesn't bode well for Callum at the moment. But, you know, he has been said to have all the talent, and he's got the range, and he's got the length, and he's big and tall at the weight. So he might still be able to do something. And he does carry power as well. But he looks like he struggles with the smaller fighters. He crouches down to their size and just has difficulty with them. Moving on to someone like Canelo, this guy is an ATG already. He's got probably one of the best, if not, no, not one of the best. He has the best resume in boxing. Actually, it is one of the best. I think Manny Pacquiao has the best resume in boxing, active boxers anyway. He has people on his record like Floyd Mayweather Jr. Yes, he lost the fight, but he fought Floyd. He didn't get knocked out, he didn't get stopped, and he was a very young age when he fought Floyd. I think it was only 22, 23. He's fought GGG twice. He's fought Miguel Cotto. He's fought Danny Jacobs. He's fought Sergey Kovalev. He's fought Erislandy Lara. These are big names, and he's fought them back to back to back to back to back. So I'm super impressed with Canelo's resume, and if he continues like this, he's gonna have Callum Smith on his resume as well. The resume is just gonna look outstanding in this day and age of boxing. That resume just looks outstanding. I'm very intrigued to see how he deals with someone like Callum Smith. He's fought someone with the similar dimensions of Callum Smith in Rocky Fielding, but Rocky Fielding is just a poor talent, in my opinion. He stopped Rocky Fielding in 3 or 4 with body shots. Rocky was never a challenge, and actually Callum Smith has also stopped Rocky, and he stopped Rocky in 1. So the only thing Rocky really showed me was Canelo can get to tall fighters. That's about it. So I am intrigued to see how he deals with Callum Smith's height and reach. Sergey Kovalev had height and reach, and Canelo got to him. Even he was getting outboxed though, but he got to him and then he stopped him with a brutal KO. Had Kovalev on the ropes. The only way I could describe that was, back in the Tudor times when someone would be in the stocks for the guillotine, take their head chopped off. That's how Kovalev looked when he was on the ropes, as if he was lining up his head for the guillotine to drop down on his neck and chop his head off. But that was a great performance by Canelo, and yeah, I'm just so excited for the fight, man. I'll give my actual prediction probably on fight week because I like to see what the fight. I like to try and look into the fighters' mind frames in fight week. I like to see what shape they've come in. I like to see what their mind frame is. Are they fully locked into the fight? That's how with the Terence Crawford and Kell Brook fight, there were little things that I picked up. I picked up that Terence was getting angry, and I picked up that he was very, very locked into the fight. And those are sort of signs I want to see from Callum Smith and Canelo on fight week. One thing I will say, I don't think Callum Smith travels very well. I think he's a home comforts type of fighter, and when he's out of his comfort zone, I don't think he performs particularly well. And I know this fight's more than likely going to be in America, so he's going to be out of his comfort zone. So that's something else to bear in mind too. The last couple of things I'll say on this is this fight's going to be on the Zone UK. As this the first big fight that the Zone UK are going to have, and I think they're opening up at maybe £1.99 for a month subscription. So I am absolutely buzzing that the Zone have finally made their way to the UK. I'll be signing up for that quick time, and again, looking forward to the fight. Stay tuned on the channel for more videos leading up to the fight and other videos too. So I'm going to have a video talking about boxing terminology because a couple of people have asked me about that and said that they want to know a bit more about the terminology, about what purse bids are, the different organisations and how their belts are split up, and a little bit on the weight division. So I'm going to do a video on that, and then I'm going to go back to my other 2 series on top 10 of the weight divisions and fights you need to see. So stay tuned, guys, and yeah, please subscribe if you are enjoying the videos. Thank you.